Hi, today we'll do an example in JavaFX on spinners. So a spinner is a JavaFX control that allows the user to select from a list of predefined values arranged in a sequence. So a spinner lets the user select a value from a list of predefined options using arrow buttons. So you might have seen a spinner in programs before, maybe older programs. I don't think they use them that much anymore. Maybe for some Windows or Mac applications, maybe Linux too, but maybe in like control panel to like select your options, you can like click an arrow, but mostly it's usually a drop down box, a drop box or something, where you click it and it drops down the options. That's how most selections are. Or like check boxes or something like that, radio buttons. I haven't seen a spinner in a while that I can remember, but we'll just do it anyways. So we're just working in one class today. So we'll start by importing the classes. So I've already created a class called main. And then so we'll just start by importing the classes. So import JavaFX.application.application. Then we'll import JavaFX.beans.property. .simple string property. And we'll import JavaFX.beans.property .string property. I think what's wrong with this one? Okay, dot. What's wrong with okay, that's fine. So then we'll do import JavaFX.collections.fx collections. Not sure if we've used that class already. Then we'll import JavaFX.collections.ObservableList. And then import JavaFX.geometry.pos. So a few more. So we'll import JavaFX.scene.scene. Then JavaFX.scene.control.spinner. Import JavaFX.scene.control.spinner value factory. .integer spinner value factory. I don't know who came up with those names, but it's kind of strange. So now we'll import JavaFX.scene.layout.VBox. Then import JavaFX scene.text.font. And JavaFx.scene.text.text, just for plain text objects. Then import JavaFx.stage.stage. Okay, after all that, just write public class main. Just one class, so we'll extend application. We'll say private spinner of integer object int spinner. Int spinner 1. Then private spinner string and string spinner 1. Private text. So then we'll create a private text object text. Or we can say str. Our text is okay. We can just call it text str. Doesn't matter, whatever you want. So we'll create the start method, so public void start. This takes a stage, primary stage. Here we can just create a primary stage too. So private stage, primary stage. Then we'll say this dot primary stage equals to primary stage. And we'll say integer spinner value factory. ISVF equals new integer spinner value factory. So I'm thinking it's the minimum option, the maximum option, and then the option you want to start on. And then we'll so we created a int spinner 1. So int spinner 1 equals new spinner. So you gotta pass it in. So of integer, so we created a private spinner integer int spinner, then we say int spinner equals new spinner of type integer, so it's just like it's like a wrapper class. What else could it be? Like a generic type. It's basically a generic type that's been instantiated. So instead of that integer, there was probably like a type T or an E or something. You can do that all in one line, right? But I guess they're making it private first. So it's private spinner of integer object, of type integer object. int spinner1. Then we set int. Then we call int spinner1 again. Then we say int spinner1 equals new spinner. So we set it equal to new spinner of type integer object. Again, not the primitive value, it's the wrapper class with the capital I and the full ending instead of just int. So then it takes a constructor, so these brackets aren't empty, but what we're going to do here is we're going to pass isvf from above because we've created a integer spinner value factory. We called it isvf equals new integer spinner value factory. It doesn't take a object type in there. It's just like that. And then I guess a constructor takes a min, a max, and then a value to be started on default when the program runs. Then once we do that, we create that. We instantiate that, and then we pass in isvf in there. So it's just something to remember. And then for strings, it's a bit different. We have to say observable list. I guess because it has a string property. So of type, so observable list of type string object. Call a list equals fx collections dot observable array list. No parameters. So we call the list.addAll method. Then we'll add some strings in there. So we'll just put like mean, joyful. You can just put like joy. Or it doesn't matter, whatever you want. Just an example. Let's see. Put like sad or something. Tired. Whoops. We'll put like euphoric. One, two, three, four, five, six, seven. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So we need some more. Well, let's just check what that. Let me check what that constructor is. So integer spinner value factory. Integer spinner value factory. JavaFx Oracle docs. So I'm just searching that up. Go to the Oracle API. Where is it? Integer spinner value factory. JavaFX. Didn't even come up. That's helpful. Just put JavaFX and did I spell it wrong? Yeah, I did. Integer spinner value factory. Spinner value factory, okay. So constructors are looking for one that takes 3 values. Yeah, I was right. Min, max, and initial value. But okay, let's just copy that over then. So I don't think you can see that, but because it's just a game recorder, so we'll just paste it down here. Silly that Microsoft only made a game recorder built into Windows 10. But anyways, so integer spinner value factory. The first value is a minimum. The last value is a maximum. And the initial value is 4. So what I have is only 7 things in the list. But there's 10 values, so I don't know how that's going to work. But we'll just try it out and see what happens. We might have to add some more. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I got 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 here. We can just say, just put like silly or something. We could have put like anything, names of cars, whatever, names of bikes, trucks, whatever you want. But we'll just do something. Just put like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. One more. Let's see. Let's do like funny. Should be good. So list.add all. Is that an array? I think that's an array list or a list method. I don't think it's an array list. It might be a list method. We'll be doing lists later anyways. So then we'll say string spinner. We'll call our string spinner. So string. We could have just said str. We'll just say string spinner 1. Oh, sorry, lowercase s. String spinner 1 equals new spinner of type string object, and we'll pass in list. We'll say string spinner 1 equals, no, not equals, we'll use a dot operator. We'll say get style class. Dot add, so parentheses dot add. Then parentheses again, spinner dot style class split arrows vertical. We'll call string property, we'll call it text str equals new simple string property. We'll say text str equals new text. Actually, maybe we'll just keep that as text because it's getting a little. We used str already, I think. So text equals new text, or text 1 if you have multiple. So text dot set font, new font, Helvetica. You can use any font you want. I don't really know that many in JavaFX. Then we'll say text dot text property dot bind, so we're binding it to text str. Is that what we said? Text str dot concat. Yeah, I don't really like the concat thing. It's probably an easy way to do this with a change listener. And then dot value property, because this line's gonna be like stupid long. Dot concat and dot concat another one, string spinner dot value property. That's kind of like a long unnecessary line. I think with a change listener we could have done it easy, like probably like not even this, probably only we could have done it with like this much using a change listener. I think, sorry, I just touched the mic by accident, but I think like in the other example video where we do the same code twice, I forgot what we did. What were we doing? Was it the circle thing? Where we bind the circle to the center of the screen, the window? I think that was it. Remember when we used a change listener, it was a lot simpler. I'm thinking we could use a change listener here. It would probably be easier than doing all these, this line, you know, text dot text property. So we set our new text. So we created our text here. We instantiated here. Then we set text.setFont. Excuse me. Then we set text.textProperty bind it to, what's text string again? Text string. Text str, can't find it. What's up with this? Okay, excuse me, so where's our text str? Do we call it str or just text? I think we just changed it to text, right? Is that true? Text, I don't see text str. Oh, we did call it str, whoops. Right here, string property. Text str, okay, so before we had a double name. So we created a string property for text. Then we concatenated it to inspinner1.value_property. Then we concatenated that with and then the string spinner1.value_factory again. We got an error here. So text.textProperty bind to text string text str.concat to inspinner1.value_property.concat with and. There's an error here, I think. There should be a bracket here. .concat string spinner one.value_property. I don't like this line personally. I find it confusing and unnecessary. We could have done it with a change listener, I think a lot easier. We'll save that for another video. We'll just do the way I learned in school. So again, there is another way to do this, it's just unnecessary to do it this way, but we'll just say VBox root equals new VBox. And we'll say int spinner1. So we'll put int spinner1 in our VBox, string spinner. String spinner1. And then text underneath. So all that is just a text on the bottom, I think. This line, honestly, it's like, it's almost stupid to have this line here. We could probably take it out. Then we'll say pane.setStyle. Whoops, not pane, sorry, root.setStyle. And we'll use a formatting string to select the color. So -fx -background -color. Then we'll just put like cyan or something. Oops, I spelled it wrong. Then we'll say root.set alignment to pos.center. And then root.set spacing to just say like 30. We'll create a scene equals new scene. So we've worked with these before quite often, so you get used to writing these. We'll say root. We'll pass in root, and then we'll create the size of the window. So we'll say like 400 by 300. Then we'll say like primary stage. Set title to spinner demo, or spinner, we'll just call it spinner. Then we'll say primary stage dot set scene to scene, and then primary stage we'll call the dot show method to display it on the monitor. We'll run that. You won't be able to see on my screen because it's only a game recorder, as we said. So you won't be able to see the application if it runs, which it did run. What's happening here? We got null for our value, and okay, so they are changing. That's what I thought. I think that's what I thought. Or did I do something wrong? Because look, there's null, right? It's null. So let's change this number to 5. See, I had the feeling, I had the right feeling that we didn't have enough strings in our thing for the minimum to max values. So that's why I think it's telling us that it's null. Or maybe not. 5 and funny. 5 and mean. Nope. Why is it saying null? And there must be a error somewhere. Okay, let's go back here and check. So private spinner, integer spinner1, private spinner, string spinner1, text, this dot primary stage equals primary stage, integer spinner value factory isvf equals new integer spinner value factory 110.5. Why don't we just say 175? Does that help anything? Let's try that. That's weird. Okay, we'll just leave it as 10 then. Observable list string list equals fx collections dot observable array list list dot add all. Seven strings and string spinner equals new spinner string. String spinner 1 equals new spinner string list. String spinner dot get style class. Parentheses dot add spinner dot style class. Split arrows vertical. String property text str equals new simple string property. Okay, we forgot this. Is that what is wrong with it? We'll check it out. Probably is. Okay, now it works. So when you click the spinner, you can change the numbers and it's going to concat it to the bottom. So with the string, so we could say like one and euphoric, one and silly, something like that. You could change the numbers and everything you change is going to change it and show the text. So we could probably run it without this. We can try it. So it works. Now it's not showing our text. Excuse me. So it's not concatenating our text. So what we're saying is our text. Then we're creating a text property. No, so our text, and we're calling the text property. Dot bind it to string property. So we have a string somewhere here. So bind it to the string property that we created. Concat that with in spinner.value property. So like 1, 2, and then dot concat that with and the string and. Then concat that with the string spinner.value factory. So I kind of get it, but it's kind of confusing. After you see the program run, you can kind of see what's happening. I hope you can too. But it's just probably this thing's the harder concept to grasp. It's like you can't just say string here and then concat it, because property values change, right? So that's probably the thing that's throwing some people off. If this was just string, it would be easier. Then we're just concatenating a string on there. We have to create a string property to work with the other properties. So I hope that helps. I'll see you guys next time. Take care.